This is Couples Court with the Cutlers.
This is the case of Lee versus Lee. You all have been married for 9 years. You have one child together, and concerns about cheating are causing problems in this relationship. Miss Lee, why are you here today?
I'm here to find out once and for all if he's been cheating on me.
These concerns that you have, how's it affecting your relationship?
We fight a lot.
So this is just a tense household.
Yes.
Mr. Lee, what are you here to prove?
I'm here to prove that I'm not cheating at all. I've been faithful to her for 9 years, and it's tearing us apart. I mean, it's always fussing and fighting. If I take a little longer at the grocery store, where have you been? It shouldn't have took that long. You're out there sleeping with someone else. If I have a moment to myself at all, it's, oh, you're cheating on me, aren't you? If I got a female coworker, oh, you're cheating on me, aren't you? No. I mean, for 9 years, she's been just saying the same stuff. Oh, I'm gonna leave you. I think you're cheating on me. I think, who are you texting? Who are you calling?
Mr. Lee, do you believe this is all in her head, that she's paranoid?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's from a past relationship or brought on by her own, maybe some sort of mental problems that need to be addressed, but I feel like she just needs to stop with allegations.
So we have an idea what it looks like now. What did it look like then?
We met about 9 years ago. We met at a party. I had a friend actually invite me to meet somebody else, and I ended up falling in love with that one. And the next night I called him, and he took me and my grandmother out to dinner.
Oh.
You and your grandmother?
Yes, I was living with my grandmother and taking care of her.
So your first date,
He took my grandmother.
your grandmother went with you?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Lee, is that some kind of player move that...
From a big family. I come from a big family, Your Honor, and if someone's going out to eat, we always ask if anyone else wants to go out to eat. I didn't want her grandma to be hungry.
Aw.
How can you not love a guy like that?
I'm telling you, that is sweetness right there. That is sweetness.
And that's why you fell for him, isn't it?
Yeah, a month later we got married.
A month later?
Yeah.
We knew each other for 5 weeks total.
Wow.
And it lasted 9 years.
And you've made it 9 years. Y'all don't play, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that is...
You talking about hit the
you know
ground
what?
running.
You know what? Go big or go home. That's it.
All right. So you've been together 9 years.
Yep.
You knew exactly what you wanted. You knew it right away. Why are you here? Why do you believe he's cheating?
We've been married 9 years, and the whole entire time we've only done 2 sex positions. We've done missionary and from behind. I know it sounds boring, but that's it. Within the last year, he's been bringing up other things. He's been throwing my legs over his head. He's been putting me to the side. I mean, just all sorts of random new positions.
So you went from 2 positions to being flipped around like a president.
Hey,
yes, Your
I
Honor.
didn't hear any complaining out of her.
Miss Lee, most women wouldn't complain about that. I mean...
But
Why
you're
out of the
spiking
blue,
it
though?
up.
After 8 years, it's just one way. We pretty boring couple. We stay at home. We play video games. We watch TV. I mean,
That's
pretty
why.
boring couple.
We're a boring couple.
And now, all out of the blue, all these new things.
And so that causes you to have some concern.
Yeah, where did he learn them from?
All right, Mr. Lee, she brings up a valid point.
You know, I figured if I changed it up a bit, maybe she wouldn't go the other way, or maybe she'd be a little bit happier.
Might be tired.
Yeah. I mean, just kind of wear her out before she yells at me.
That's one approach.
Yeah.
That's one approach.
Miss Lee, I gotta ask you, what are you thinking about when he's doing all these
Where
new
the
things?
hell did he learn it from?
So you can't even enjoy it because you're thinking, well, where'd that come from? And who did he get that from?
I don't have a cheating bone in my body. Never have cheated on anybody.
But you know, Carlo, they say when there is a decrease in one sexual activity or change in what you're doing, that's a warning sign. So it's it isn't without basis.
I understand both sides because on the one hand, it's like, well, you do want to change it up a little bit. You don't want to always do the same thing.
Yes.
But then when it's all of a sudden, it's like, okay.
And it's really out there.
So you didn't talk to her about it, say, hey, you know, things are going on. You just sprung it on her one night.
Yeah.
You know, without warning.
Started slow with this and that, and then, you know, the next time, throw a little more and throw a little more. Yeah, just keep it
Just
routine.
keep it
and
different.
Changed up.
Keep it in new. Keep it fresh.
Exactly.
And you're just not buying that at all.
Nope. No, Your Honor.
Well, you know, Miss Lee, while I can understand your concern and there is some basis for it, it's not all bad. Do you have any other evidence that he's cheating?
Well, I work 2 jobs. I leave the house at like 8 o'clock in the morning. Don't get back until 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Okay.
I get home and I expect to spend time with my daughter 9, 10 o'clock at night, spend a little bit of time with her, and I would come home and she'd be nowhere to be found.
So, Miss Lee, you come home, your daughter's not there. You ask him, where is she?
Said she wanted to go to the babysitter, so I called him to have him come pick her up.
Okay, and what did you say in response to that?
Why didn't you call me and ask me? I've been at work all day and I want to come home and spend time with my daughter. Well, I just wanted some time alone. She wanted to go over there. And he went off walking and I went into the bedroom and started going through his stuff and I found a stack of porn DVDs in his book bag.
Okay.
What? And so when you found this,
That was the first night he sent my daughter off.
And you think he's using these porn DVDs and having sex with somebody else?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. Lee.
They're not even mine. They're hers. They were mixed in with the piles of DVDs I packed up.
And you don't
I'm
believe
dealing
that, Miss Lee?
No, I don't believe him at all.
So, Miss Lee, have you ever caught him actually with a woman?
Okay, so we worked at the same place together in Montana for a little while, and I had several people come up to me telling me that he was flirting with them. So we made a plan with one of them that I was real close with to catch him in the act.
See, planning, right there.
Well, we decided to try to catch him in the act, and we worked together one night, and they started sexting. I sat there by her the whole entire time. You know, she let me see what was going on, and I kind of told her a little bit of what to say to kind of lure him in a little. And he sent a pic of his penis.
All right, Mr. Lee.
While he's watching my kid.
Can you explain to me why you sent a picture of your privates to her coworker?
Well, first off, I knew I was being set up. You see, the night before we were out to dinner, and all of a sudden, someone starts texting me from a random number. I'm like, I don't recognize this number, so I think I'll ask. So it turns out it was one of the coworkers I've only worked with a couple times. But yeah, so I'm like, okay, why is she texting me? And I realized, you know, she's good friends with her. So I'm like, okay, this is clearly a setup. So I'm like, okay, I'm texting, just mindless conversation, video games, trucks, this and that. So the next day, she goes to work with this girl, and I'm like, okay, well now let's see what happens now. So I know it's her on the other end of that phone because I know how she texts. I know all her little traps. I know everything she's giving herself away on. So I'm like, okay, and then she asked me, okay, for a pic. So I'm like, okay, this obviously is what she wants. Okay, let's just give her what she wants. So I did.
Then how come when I got home that night, I said, what were you doing all day? And you said, nothing, I've been playing video games.
All right, so you send this pic, and in terms of going big or going home, you went big.
Yeah.
And you sent this pic.
Ain't that big.
I got tired of always being accused.
Mr. Lee, do you always send pictures of your privates to coworkers?
No, that was actually the only time.
When you got home, what happened?
So I said, have you been texting anybody today? No, I've just been sitting around. I said, no, the hell you haven't, because I was on the other side of the phone the whole time texting you. And then I walked out of the room and told him to get the hell out of the house. You know, I was cussing him out and everything. Then all of a sudden, he switches it up and gets nasty with me, saying, oh, I knew it was you the whole time. Well, then why'd you just apologize to me and cry when you were on the toilet when I got home?
What we have here is a wife that absolutely doesn't believe her husband, a husband who says, I haven't done anything wrong. The only thing I was trying to do was spice it up in the bedroom. He says he's not cheating. He just wants to make it a little hotter, a little spicier. So based on that, the court went to a friend of the court to stop by and give us some insights on couples, romance, and when relationships go stale. At this time, the court would like to call New York Times best-selling author of erotica, novelist Zane. Ron, would you escort Zane into the courtroom?
Yes, Your Honor.
How are you? I'm great, and yourself?
We're good. It's
Thank
good
you
to
for
see you.
coming.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, we need your insight. We have a couple here, been together 9 years. In the 8th year, he starts busting a move, basically. So we want to get from you some information. You write a lot about sex and romance.
I do.
You talk to a lot of couples. What would you suggest for couples who say the relationship is going stale? What do you recommend?
Well, first let me say this, that lust is the benefit of self at the expense of others, while love is the benefit of others at the expense of self. And what I mean by that is a lot of couples stop at the lust stage and never get to the love stage. Even when they've been together a long time and have kids and stuff together, you have to realize that love is about a degree of sacrifice and willing to make exceptions to make the other person happy. So a lot of times when a marriage becomes stale, it's because there's that lack of communication or the unwillingness to try different things.
And we know that you know a lot about Spice.
I do.
So, what advice would you give them since she seems to be uncomfortable with change and he's trying to spice things up?
Well, I think it's important to have an open mind. And as long as he's not asking you to do anything that makes you totally uncomfortable, you may want to try it because for all you know, you might like it. And our sex drives come in ebbs and flows, whether we're male or female. And sometimes a lot of it has to do with outside circumstances. But you never know. If he wants to try something new, unless it's something that's like really makes you uncomfortable, you just can't see yourself doing, why not try it? It might actually turn you on.
Here's the issue here is she's concerned about it, not because he's doing it, but she thinks he's getting this information, this spiciness from another hot tamale.
That's not necessarily true.
Okay.
Everybody changes in their life. Like we don't want to watch the same, television show for 30 years or eat the same. We don't have the same favorite meal for 30 years. So it may just be that he wants to do something different and you're his wife, so he should do it with you. And I often encourage couples to spice up their love life. It can be very helpful for a spouse. It's better for him to try to make changes and try to encourage you to do those things than to go out and for him to be miserable, rather.
And it's not an indicator that there's infidelity going on.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Right. What about watching porn? Is watching porn an indication that there's cheating going on?
No, a lot of couples watch porn together, and it can be very healthy for a relationship. It could be some type of research. They could learn things that they want to experiment with. That's not necessarily an indicator of someone cheating at all, because a lot of people watch porn with their spouses.
Okay.
A lot.
A lot.
All right.
All right, so we've gotten some expert advice about whether or not spicing it up, watching porn together, means that something's wrong. In fact, it could be that something's right, that you're moving forward. But in this case, you believe that the change in your sex life, that he's willing to be with other women because he was talking and sending pictures of himself to your friend, your coworker. All of these are indicators that he's cheating.
Yes, sir.
And you're uncomfortable, and all the excuses he's given, you are not buying.
No, you're not.
All right.
And Mr. Lee, just so I'm clear, so the court is clear, your testimony is you have not had any sexual relationship with anyone other than your wife since you've been married.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's what you're telling this court.
That's what I'm telling this court.
To investigate this matter, the court retained the services of certified polygraph examiner Michael Williams, and we're going to call him at this time. Ron, please escort Mr. Williams into the courtroom.
Your Honor.
How are you, Mr. Williams?
Good afternoon, Judge.
It's good to see you again.
Good to see you, too.
Mr. Williams, would you state your credentials for the court, please?
I have spent the last 25 years in law enforcement as a polygraph examiner. I have over 700 polygraphs to my credit, so I'm much more likely to catch you in a lie than your doctor is to catching you with cancer.
Oh, well, that's bad for the liars, that's for sure.
Right. Now, in this case, you conducted a polygraph examination of Mr. Lee, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
You asked Mr. Lee, since being married to your wife, have you had sexual intercourse with anyone other than your wife? What was his response?
He said no.
What did the lie detector determine? What was his response?
He said no.
What did the lie detector determine?
Your Honor, on this particular question, there were several significant physiological responses which indicated to me that he was being deceptive.
Mr. Lee, who have you been involved with since you've been married with her?
Nobody. I'm sticking by that.
Can't do it.
Your wife needs to hear the truth.
Ron, can you please try to bring Miss Lee back in? Miss Lee, you're very obviously heartbroken. Tell us what you're thinking right at this moment.
I don't want him to come back to Montana with me.
You're done.
Can't do it. If he would at least been honest in here when y'all asked him, Mike could have worked on it.
Mr. Lee, my husband, my co-judge has offered you an opportunity to come clean. So I'm gonna ask you.
You've been married for 9 years.
Yes.
The question was,
Oh, okay, go ahead.
since you've been married to Miss Lee, have you had sexual intercourse with any other woman?
No, Your Honor.
Well, you can take a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. So,
As we say in this court, don't cheat yourself out of a chance for a good relationship. Court is adjourned.